Alright guys, getting right into it. Trying to make sure that these videos don't run too long. Again, continuing with the return of the greatest comic book haul ever. 650 comics that Scotty Hines have given me for free. And in this one, I think I just had Defenders and Alpha Flight. And we'll move on to the X-Men after this video. Alright. Okay, so, alright, easy peasy. Alright, Defenders number 71. I should have a really good run of this now, of the original Defenders, all the way up to where the Squadron Supreme was in it, in the 100s, you know, and that led right into the Squadron Supreme miniseries out of there. But anyway, here's number 71. 72, and then a little, oh man, that is, I mean, this book just got weird. I don't remember who worked on these, but you know, starting the Hulk's TV Marvel, you know, TV sensation, the Hulk. So, you know, there for a while where I was a kid watching that Hulk TV show, I did picture Lou Ferrigno every now and then. That's just how it happened. 73, so that would make these in, yeah, 1979, 78, and 79. Nighthawk. What a lot of people don't know about this Nighthawk character is that it's actually a cheat, that it's actually a DC's Batman in the Marvel Universe. That's what a lot of people didn't realize or know, is that when in the Avengers, like, I don't know what it was, 69 or something, I've got it upstairs, the Grandmaster popped up, and he supposedly created the Squadron Sinister, which was a thinly veiled Justice League. Hyperion was Superman, Power Princess was Wonder Woman, you know, and Nightwing was the Batman. The Wizard was the Flash, and Dr. Spectrum was Green Lantern. I'm gonna stop right there because I can't remember if they brought in Blue Eagle yet, or American Eagle hit a couple names. But anyway, so what happened was that they were the Squadron Sinister, and the Grandmaster just kind of left them there, and they were running around. And then a few issues later, they did it proper, to where Hawkeye and somebody went to a parallel dimension, and they're walking around, and they're on the Earth where it's the Squadron Supreme. These are the good guys. The Grandmaster didn't just come up with these guys. Anyway, so Nighthawk is actually Batman running around the DC universe. The Wizard became Speed Demon. When did he do that? Spider-Man 202? Something like that. But there's a speedster in the Marvel Universe who's really the Flash. You know, he's the Speed Demon, you know. Alright, number 75. This is actually when I started remembering the, I think this is a Kirby cover, and I remember seeing these on the stand. So, that was great. Number 79. Then, again, I have seen this book everywhere. I think I have 2 copies upstairs. Something about this issue with the weird guy. I don't know if Steve Gerber was writing these at the time or what was going on, man. And I love Steve Gerber, but I mean, this got out there and stuff. But I have seen this book everywhere, everywhere. I mean, it's just, you know, that little thorn that pops up. Number 80. Again, I've never seen this, but you know, Namor, Hulk, Doctor Strange. 87. Speaking of Defenders, Justice League Unlimited actually had an episode where it was the Defenders, and you had Hawkwoman being Valkyrie, Dr. Fate being Doctor Strange. I think they had Aquaman, who was your Namor, and they had Solomon Grundy as your Hulk, and Solomon Grundy had died, and they really got in there, and it really did feel like a Steve Gerber episode with some Lovecraftian stuff in there. So if you know, go back and look at your Justice League cartoons and watch that again. And I didn't pick up on it. One of my friends got a hold of me and was like, "Did you see that episode?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it was alright." And he was like, "It was the Defenders." And I was like, "Son of a bitch." Moving on here. I'm going spastic. Number 90, the Mandrill. I think that's what he was. I mean, evil monkey. And looks like, yeah, I bet that's the Lady Liberties or something. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. But there's your, look at that. There's your team up, man. You know, Batman. I know it's Nighthawk. Batman, Daredevil, Hulk. Anyway, more Hulk. Number 91. Valkyrie and Hellcat going at it. Alright. A Piece of Eternity is Missing. Number 92. That could be bad. And at long last, return of the Son of Satan. I was so glad they finally made him a villain, because he was the son of Satan, and I always felt weird reading that. Like, this is blasphemous or something. Blasphemous. Yeah, you know, it was just weird because, like, you know, I don't want to judge him because who his dad is, you know, but he goes around calling himself the son of Satan, so I'm like, he's proud of it, you know. Alright, now here's the Alpha Flight, and we're going to get through these pretty quick, alright? Well, yeah, they're Alpha Flight. Number 1, okay? Canada's Team. John Byrne, Chris Claremont had them come up in the X-Men during their fantastic run, and you find out this is where Wolverine came from. And there was an Alpha Flight, a Beta Flight, a Gamma Flight, and an Omega Flight going off the top of my head. And they just had little cameos here and there in the first issue, and then they started bringing them out. Diamond Lil and all of them, and you started exploring North Star and Aurora's relationship as twins. She was schizophrenic with a split personality or something. And then you start finding out that there's little hints in there that North Star was gay, which was a pretty big deal back then. Yeah, they're fighting the Master here. Mira, you know, you find out she's part of a plan to, you know, have some babies and take over the world. Number 5, Puck. And I think John Byrne's wife actually came up with the idea of Puck, or named him Puck or something. But I think this is a John Byrne's wife's creation, threw him in there. And he actually got promoted, I think, from what was Beta Flight into Alpha Flight in the first issue or something, you know, after the Canada's disbanded them. Number 6, the infamous issue of, there was a joke going around, oh, don't go blank now, Haller, let me think. But anyway, John Byrne said he could pull off doing, you know, the old joke about a polar bear in a snowstorm. So this is called Snowblind, and there's actual pages where it's nothing but a panel, and it's supposed to be taking place in a blizzard. You know, maybe a few word balloons. And I've always wondered, did Byrne really get paid for those? Because I can't see Byrne doing that even as a joke and lose money. Number 8, missing number 7, but I know where to get it. You know, so Betrayal. Looks like she's all cozied up with somebody there. I don't know. And then I got 9 and 10 upstairs. That works out just fine. That's the Super Skrull Sasquatch issues that I love. I think that's a classic Alpha Flight story there, which was continued from Fantastic Four and some other places. John Byrne had anything he worked on, he had an ongoing story with the Super Skrull. You know, it was awesome. Okay, number 11. You know, if to save the life of a woman he loves, he must face them. And I think that looks a lot like probably the Gamma Flight, or maybe the Omega Flight. I don't know. They want you to think it's the X-Men, but I don't think it was. It's been years since I read it. And this was the issue where somebody dies. Number 12, 1 year into it. And then the next issue was hot for a long time. John Byrne writing Wolverine. This is back when his little appearances outside of the book were just hot. Number 14, now this is where I think Byrne kind of broke the tradition of just telling a teen book and started taking it places he wanted it to go. I think he really had a lot of freedom where this wasn't Fantastic Four, this wasn't X-Men. He could really start experimenting as a storyteller and shake up the Alpha Flight. You have to return Mira and Submariner. A lot of people don't remember that these two were in love. They were a couple. Okay. Last time I saw them actually be a couple was when Walt Simonson was on the Avengers. And then we got Return of the Master, I think, or something. Puck debuting, Namor going all to hell on somebody. And then this is Byrne doing a riff of an X-Men, Dave Cochran's X-Men cover that he did of this. And this is telling the same story that happened in an X-Men book, but I think from Guardian's point of view, Alpha Flight's point of view. I could be wrong, you know. And number 18, you getting the soap opera going. And then he starts introducing new characters. Shaman ends up having his daughter Talisman show up, which are the Canadian Native Americans. Would you call them that? I mean, you know, it's North America. Number 20, Gilded Lily. This is where I think he was just going through the paces there for a little bit. 21, brought in a Fantastic Four for Diablo, and, you know. Yeah, I think he's just kind of going through the paces now. You know, let's go on here. And then bam, you know, I think he got his mojo going. He was getting ready to take over the Incredible Hulk book. 24, tying up some ends, and oh my God, it can't be. He's dead. You know, return of an Alpha Flight member, And there they are. Wild Child, Diamond Lil. Don't remember this dude's name, but he had an interesting power. He was able to call him. He could bring up. He could pull from the future different versions of himself, and have them run around. And one of them got killed, and he freaking loses it because that means I pulled myself from the future. Somewhere down the line, I'm just going to up and die. And Secret Wars 2, number 28. Got a couple of those. And then I don't have number 29, I don't think. But what happened was that Bill Mantlo and Mike Mignola, I'm pretty sure it was Mantlo, were working on the Incredible Hulk, and all they did was just trade books with John Byrne. They started doing Alpha Flight, and he started doing the Incredible Hulk. Brought in some. They started doing their thing. 32. Thought I had the first appearance of Lady Deathstrike in here. And brought in the X-Men. There it is. First appearance of Lady Deathstrike was in this. I definitely made sure I boarded that one. Probably a $10 book. I mean, it's nothing, but it's still cool to have a key there. 35, 36, and we start. This is where they really 37. This is where they really started getting away from the roots a little bit. 38, number 38. This should be the. They crossed over with the. X-Men and went down to have a talk with Namor, I think, or something. 41. I remember this is where the book got really weird, man. They brought in the Purple Girl, and who was supposedly the son of the Purple Man, and really, the book really started going places in a different direction. The art really changed. Jim Lee was right around the corner of coming on. They brought in Box, some members that popped up in one panel of the first issue. There it is. Okay, I think, yeah, this isn't mine. This is in there, so this means I have 2 or 3 of them. But this is Jim Lee's first Marvel work, printed Marvel work from 87. Yeah, we're in 1987 now. Jim Lee came on the book. They did some pretty cool stuff, man. They brought in Loki, and then they brought in the Dream Queen. And they've got the annual number 1. Alright, that was all my Alpha Flight stuff from the top of my head and stuff. So on to the last video where I'm bringing you X-Men.